You know, some of us, we don't want to have an ending of anything. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't have an ending, there's no way a beginning can take place. So there's something you have to end. Maybe it's what you've been accepting. Maybe it's how you've been prioritizing yourself. Maybe it's how you've been ignoring your peace. Maybe it's what you've been accepting. But if you keep the same things in your life that you have been complaining about, then guess what? Next year is going to be no different. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I know a lot of influencers, they want to talk change and they want to take advantage of the new year and motivate y'all and inspire y'all. Like, I want 2024, whenever you're watching this, the next year to be the best year. But the truth is, if you're doing nothing different, if you're keeping the same things in your life, if you're keeping the same people in your life, you're not going to experience anything new. Only thing that's going to be new is the flip of a calendar. Only thing that's going to be new is a date. Only thing that's going to be new is the time on the clock. And so I want you to like spend time. I know you're with your family, but spend time even with your family and writing down, like, what do you want for your next year? What do you want to feel? Like, one of the things that I do every Christmas is I take my family somewhere special, somewhere that elevates my mind, somewhere that stretches my mind, somewhere that inspires me, inspires my family. So I can sit down and I can write goals of inspiration. So I can sit down and I can forecast my life. So I can sit down and I can envision the life that I want. See, a lot of us, we don't do that. A lot of us, we just accept what we have. A lot of us, we don't take time for ourselves. A lot of us, we don't prioritize us. When's the last time you sat down and you thought about your life? When's the last time you sat down and you wrote down what you want in your life? What you want to experience in your life? Because I do know this is true. Any journey requires some sort of direction. And a lot of us, we're going into this new journey without no direction. Some of us don't even know what we want. We don't even know what we don't want no more. We don't even know what we need. We don't even know what we want to be free from. So if I'm you in this moment, I am writing down vividly. I'm writing down with total focus on what I want for my next year. Listen, what you want isn't always what you need. What you want isn't always what you're going to get. It's life. But at least you can start bringing some intention around your life. The more intentional your life, the more focused your life will become. The more focused, the more results you will see and be produced in your life. I firmly believe that. So for some of you, I know for me, I'm choosing peace this year. I'm choosing greatness this year. I'm choosing joy this year. I'm choosing myself this year. I'm choosing happiness this year, right? I'm choosing fulfillment this year. That's what I'm choosing, right? So I'm letting go of pleasing everybody. I'm letting go of things that hold me down. I'm letting go of family or whoever. I'm letting go of things that weigh me down. I'm letting go of things that don't appreciate my energy. I'm letting go of things that drain my energy. I'm being very protective over my energy. I'm moving into protect your peace season like a mug, but I know in order to move into that, I have to let go of this. I have to let go of those things that don't serve my life anymore. And a lot of us, what we're trying to do, we're trying to double dip. We're trying to move into our new beginning by carrying the same things that need to stay in our past. We're trying to bring those things into our future. You're trying to double dip. You're trying to have the convenience of not having the conversation. You're trying to have the convenience of not hurting somebody's feelings. Let me tell you this, and this might sound kind of insensitive, but some of you need to hurt some feelings. I'm going to just keep it real with you. Some of you are too protective of other people's feelings that you're killing yourself. You're breaking your own heart trying to protect their feelings, trying to keep the peace. And I'm not telling you to be rude. I'm not telling you to be evil, but I'm telling you to choose you. And sometimes choosing you hurts somebody's feelings. Sometimes you say, you know what? I'm not going to be your 2 a.m. no more because you're never there for me. Right? I'm not going to choose to stay in somewhere there's no reciprocation. It might hurt some feelings. When you choose you and you move to your new beginning, some feelings are going to be hurt. But some of you are so great at protecting everybody's feelings that you're miserable inside. Some of you are so great at protecting everybody's feelings that you're depressed inside. At some point, you have to do what's right for you. And at some point, you have to stop feeling guilty for doing what's right for you. But a lot of us, we don't have a forecast of what we want in our life. We don't take time to write down. If you haven't done this, I'm going to just say this. If you haven't done this, you're behind. If you haven't sat down before January 1st and really write down what you want for the new year, what you want to experience, what you want to feel, what you want to be around, what you don't want anymore, what you don't want to take with you, what you want to leave behind. If you're not clear on that and writing it down, you're behind. I don't believe you're serious about change. Because again, a lot of us complain about the things we need to change. We're not serious about creating the change. Complaining is the easiest thing you can do because complaining makes you feel good about doing nothing about your situation. This is not going to be the year of complaining. This is going to be a year of changing. This is not going to be your year of accepting less. This is going to be your year of demanding more. This is not going to be the year of you losing yourself. This is going to be the year of you getting to know yourself more, unapologetically. But again, this is just a live video. It's your life. You're going to do what you want. But if I'm you, I am sitting down and I am really thinking about what can I change in my life? Because again, I know this is common sense. I know you know this, but I got to speak this to your soul and your heart. If you do nothing different, you will experience the same. I don't care what energy comes around January 1st. I don't care what you type on Facebook. I don't care what you tell everybody. If you take no action, whatever that action is, the action of leaving, the action of staying, the action of doing more, doing less, I don't know what you need in your life. The action of protecting your peace, the action of releasing things, the action of engaging in more things. If you don't take no action, you're not going to experience anything new in your life. In order to have a new beginning, you have to make a choice. But in order to truly have a new beginning, you have to make a choice that's followed by action. A lot of us, we made choices. We have chose our peace, but we didn't act in our peace. We've chose to prioritize ourselves, but we didn't act in that way because we letting people treat us like an option. Right? Some of us, we have chose to do better, but our action says we're doing the same things. 2024 is not going to be a year of perfection. 2024 is probably going to be rough for most of us, the way the economy's going. But when you sit down, you get really focused, you be intentional about what you want and what you need, and you don't deviate from that, and you set true non-negotiables and says no matter how the forecast may look, no matter if it's storming or raining, no matter what I'm going through, loneliness, whatever, I'm sticking to the plan. I'm sticking to the script because I know what I need in my life. And so I want to just come on here, man, as I'm disconnected out in nature, as you can see, with the fam. They sleep right now, taking a nap. But I was just out here thinking, and I was like, let me press live to share this with somebody because I do believe this could be your year. I really feel like that. Like, I know how much things can change in a year. I know how powerful a year can be. I remember the years where I made decisions where it changed everything for my life. Like, I know how powerful a year can be when you get back to this time next year and you're like, man, or you get to this time next year, you're like, man, I'm glad that I stuck with it. I'm glad that I saw it through. I'm glad that I made the decision. I'm glad that I really chose my new beginning. Like, you got to choose your new beginning, y'all. But in order to have a new beginning, something must die. It's for something to come alive, something must die. Right? Not someone. We're not preaching death on people, but something must die. Maybe it's an old habit. Maybe it's a mindset that doesn't serve you. Right? Maybe it's your depression. Maybe it's your anxiety. Right? Maybe it's certain friendships and relationships that you know aren't any good for you. Right? Some things must die in order for other things to come alive. And I do know this is true. Right? If you want your next level to come alive, like, this is facts. I'm speaking from experience, not theory, truth. If you want your next level to come alive, then you got to be willing to have certain things die in your life that didn't get you there, right? And sometimes, can I be real? Sometimes it's good stuff. Sometimes it's the things that keep you in the mundane of life is okay, right? Sometimes it keeps you in the mundane of just average and just, I'm just accepting life and just autopilot. There's some things I had to say no more to good because I wanted great in my life. There's some things where I had to say, you know what? This isn't a bad thing. It just isn't serving me the way I needed to serve me. It isn't pushing me the way I needed to push me. I know what I need in my life. And if you're anything like me, I'm an individual. If I don't feel like I'm growing, I feel like I'm dying. I'm an individual that I cannot stay stagnant. I cannot stay still. I got to keep progressing my life. Progression to me is life. And so I had to say no to some things that I liked. I had to say no to some things. Like, you got to become legendary at saying no to the things that don't get you your yes. Right? You got to say no to the things that don't get you to your next level. And it ain't always people, y'all. I know it's so easy to point the finger and say, oh yeah, I'm going to let go of him. I'm going to let go of her. Like, it's my friends. Sometimes it's you. Can I be real? Sometimes it's you. How do you heal from the trauma? I have a course on how to move on, my friend. Go to Rehab University. It'll help you. Go to TrentShelton.com. Watch my videos. I talk about it a lot, right? I'll tell you the first step is really diving deep and realizing and having an honest conversation with yourself on where that trauma is coming from, right? And so I don't want to get too deep. I don't want to deviate from the message today, but I have a course called How to Move On at Rehab University that can help you. So go to TrentShelton.com or RehabUniversity.com. But I just wanted to come in here and just yeah, sometimes it is situations. But we're so good at blaming people. Like, y'all know how I feel about that. Like, I think 2024 should be the year where you stop blaming people. Like, you stop talking about your ex. You stop talking about your negative friends. Like, of course you can bring it up, but like, I think some of us, we focus our life too much on that. We focus our life too much on what they did 10 years ago. And like, we focus so much on that, and our energy is used focused on that instead of having our energy used focused on that can build our life. Like, I'm not worried about the people who did me wrong last year. I'm not worried about the people who did me wrong this previous year. I'm not worried about the people who did me wrong, 10 years ago. So go to TrentShelton.com. All right. Just go there. That's where all my stuff is. You'll find any courses, everything on TrentShelton.com. But I think a lot of us, we go through those moments of like, we focus, as I call it, on your sad story too much. And I had my family read my book, Protect Your Peace, and they love it, by the way. So type peace if you're ready to get that book. It comes out in March. Pre-ordering helps me tremendously. Pre-ordering actually gives you a lot of free, valuable stuff. And even some of y'all going to be able to come to the cabin and just for pre-ordering the book. So make sure you pre-order by the new year if you want to be eligible to come spend time at the cabin. But I wanted to spend some time on here just kicking it with y'all. So y'all ask some questions in the comments. I know I do a lot of talking usually on lives, but I want to come on here. Thanks for the stars, y'all. I asked some questions. I want to answer some questions. But yeah, getting out your own way is number one. Like, that ain't even an if, and, or but. We all are in our own way. Every single one of us, including me. Like, that's what it is. And when you take that ownership over that and say, man, I'm in my own way. I've accepted this. I've allowed this. I gave permission to this regardless. That's when you truly have power. I believe ownership is the greatest power that you can have because you put the ball in your court, right? You say, okay, I accepted this. This was the problem. Okay, I am the solution. You know what I mean? And I want to tell you right now, if you listen to my podcast, go listen, by the way. Like, it's the biggest podcast of the year that I put out. It's called It's Coming. And you got to believe that your breakthrough is coming. Your next level is coming. Your healing is coming, right? But you can't just wait for it to come. You have to actively act upon with action and intentions to actually meet that version of yourself that's healed. So you got to look at your life and ask yourself, okay, if I say I want healing, I want to heal from the trauma, I want to do these things, what am I doing in my life that's showing that I want to move towards that? Or am I just hoping and praying for something to happen by still doing the same stuff that's causing my trauma, that's keeping me in my pain? I'm a firm believer. I do believe God can do anything for you, but I am a firm believer that faith without works is dead. And I think when you act on faith, I think God rewards even more because it's showing that you trust him. So when you look at your life, you're praying for better finances in 2024. I would ask you, okay, what are you doing to put yourself in a position to receive better finances? What are you doing? Right? So you have to do that part of showing God, showing yourself that you're worthy of actually handling the more that you're wanting to receive. If you want more peace in your life, what are you doing actively to receive more peace in your life? Have you set boundaries? Have you demanded your worth? Have you disconnected from the BS and nonsense? Have you done these things? Because if you haven't done these things, you can't expect to experience these things. And I know that seems common sense, but a lot of us, we don't do it. And we just come on Facebook and we complain for the rest of our life about situations that we're doing nothing about. Right? So we can't experience a new beginning without some type of ending. So for some of you, it's about making a decision. I made it out here. I wrote things down in my journal. For some of us, it's like, this is coming to an end today, right now. Before January 1st, this is coming to an end, right? I'm no longer, I'm going to give y'all this. You need to create your no longer list, okay? I am no longer, and write a list. I'm no longer, whatever you want to write down, and stick to that list, because if you want to experience the more, right, you got to say no longer to these things. No longer to these habits, no longer to these excuses, no longer to this lifestyle, no longer to this environment, no longer in these areas in my life. Get clear on that. So then you can free yourself to experience the more, because some of us, we're so shackled in our prisons of environments, meaning that we're in environments that suck. We're in environments that drain us. We're in environments that change our mindset. We're in environments where we can't even see the greatness that we have in ourselves. We're in toxic environments. And a lot of us, we're staying in those environments. And I know it's not as easy as just getting up and packing your stuff and leaving. And I'm not talking about relationships. I'm talking about maybe your environment of social media, right? Some of you follow people that are literally being toxic to your life. You're literally programming your subconscious with comparison. You're not following anything great. You're following gossip sites. You're following the latest news, like even some celebrity stuff that's going on right now. People text me, "Are you seeing what happened?" I don't care. That's them. I don't care. I'm praying for them. I wish them well. I hope they heal from it, grow from it. I don't get into that, because I'm too focused on the mission that's been put on my life. I'm too focused on that. And I got my own stuff I need to deal with. I got my own stuff I need to heal from. I got my own stuff that I'm working from, right? I got my own trauma that I'm trying to work through. And so I just don't understand having time and focus on other people's stuff that have nothing to do with you. You focus on other people's life and they don't pay your bills. You're focusing on things that don't lead you to a better place. I don't understand it. That's why a big part of protect your peace is guard your focus. You'll see that in the book. That's principle number 5, I believe. Guard your focus. A lot of our focus isn't guarded. We're focused on everything that doesn't help our life. If you lock, man, y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all don't want this message, because anytime I talk about doing the work, people start to leave. Like, I don't want this message about doing the work. I just want things to happen and fall into my lap. But I believe, if I can give you anything, if you learn how to guard your focus in 2024, I believe you will experience the most incredible year yet. If you learn how to guard your focus. If you learn how to focus on what matters and who matters in your life. I ask myself this question every single day. What purpose does this hold? That's principle number 1 in guarding your focus. Ask yourself, what purpose does this hold? Right? Somebody calls you on the phone. What purpose does this conversation hold? I ain't got time for it. No purpose, no time. Somebody wants you to go into this environment. Okay, what purpose does this environment hold? Where I'm spending my time, right? You want me to do this? Well, how is this going to multiply my peace? How is this going to help my life? What purpose does this hold? And so for me, if it holds no purpose, I don't focus on it. Guarding your focus will shift and change your life. Some of your focus ain't guarded. You don't have focus, as I call it. You focused on the wrong things. You focus on somebody else's life, what they doing, celebrities, who they screwing, what they got going on in their life. That's what you focused on. And then you look at your life, you complain about, I don't have time. You complain about nothing's different happening in my life, but you're not doing the work on you. I don't have time to focus on others that don't matter in my life when I'm so busy working on me and mine and trying to change my situation, trying to change those that I coach in situations, trying to live and fulfill my mission while I'm on this earth. And I know that seems, kind of selfish and self-centered. But for some of you, you need to become more self-centered in a positive way. Because some of you are other people-centered, not in a good way. Become self-centered in the positive things where you actually can work on you so you can help those around you. Because I believe a better me results in a better world. A better me results in a better family. A better me results in a better community. When I'm taking care of self, it results in everything connected to me becoming better. I don't believe in the who's around you, needs to pour into you. I don't believe that. Like, I kind of believe that. But I always use this illustration. For me, I'm always pouring out, right? I'm always pouring out. And I have people around me that are water hoses in my life. Their energy, I said, listen, I don't need you to pour in me. I just don't need you to take from me. You know what I mean? That's all that I need. I don't need you to pour in me because I pour into myself, right? I do got people around me. I'm good with nature pours into me. God pours into me. So I don't want to put that responsibility on you. I don't need you to pour into me. What I need you to do is don't take from me. What I need you to do is don't drain me. Don't drain my energy. Don't drain my focus. And I tell everybody around me, if you're just around me, you're going to get an overflow. I promise you. You're going to get an overflow of blessings. You're going to get an overflow of energy. You're going to get an overflow of mindset. Because I'm going to overflow my life. I'm going to do the things that I know pour into me. Getting out in nature. Right? Standing on business. Taking care of my business. Taking care of my health. Reading. Doing the things that work for me. And that's why you got to figure out what works for you that leads to your highest self. But if you're around me, guess what happens? Your cup gets filled because of the overflow of my life. And I'm okay with that. I'm not going to complain about, oh, you don't pour into me. No. Just be around me. And I promise you, like y'all, you stay connected with me in 2024. Right? You get on these lives and hopefully some of you are getting poured into. And this comes from me pouring into myself today so I have enough to give. See, a lot of us, we're trying to give from an empty cup. We're trying to give from an empty soul. We're trying to give from a disruptive mindset. We're trying to give from an empty energy. But see, when I'm overflowed with energy because I'm taking care of myself, when I'm overflowed in my mindset because I'm protective of what goes on between these two ears, when I'm making sure I'm in the right environments, you guys get the overflow because I have enough to give. And so I want to make this live today randomly for you to really check in on your life and just like get clear, man, and really guard your focus. Like guard your focus. And I know a lot of things try to take your focus. I know a lot of things steal your focus. But the number one thing that I see with people who, when I say live at a high level, I'm not talking about finances. I'm talking about just, I consider a high level, purposeful, peaceful, powerful person. They have their focus guarded. They protect their mind. And I think that can be a powerful tool for you, right? That's why I want some of you, I need to get my book. Actually, I'm going to get my book real quick. All right, I'm going to read a little thing from my book. So don't leave, all right? Give me like 2 minutes. Don't leave. Enjoy the view. All right, I'm back. I want to read this. Protect your peace, y'all. We're at about 5,000 pre-orders, okay? The goal is to get to 10,000 by the end of January, so I need your help. Everybody just type peace if you want to get it. I know it's Christmas, so I know a lot of y'all, spend money on other things, but a last-minute Christmas gift, they won't get it to March, but it'll be very powerful. My niece was just reading this, and she couldn't put it down. Also, my aunt, too. They were like, wow, this is amazing. I need it so much. And so all you got to do is type peace, and I will send you a DM, or you go to TrentShelton.com. Again, pre-order matters Don't fall for these fake pages, y'all. Anybody talking about claim a prize, them dudes is ruthless. Never fall for that. I'm trying to ban them. They just create new pages. Claim prize, whoever you are, you're an idiot. And so this book is about protecting your energy, protecting your mind, and protecting your soul. And this book is a special book. It's dedicated to my mother. My mother really was an example of her protecting her peace. And it actually comes out on the day that I last seen her alive. So it's a very special moment. And I just think it's God's work with this. And pre-ordering matters. And I got to say this. It matters because it helps me as an author. Like the more pre-orders we get, the more bookstores get it. You know, the more TV shows bring me on. If you feel like my message is a message that the world needs to hear, then pre-order helps. And I know some are like, I'll just wait till it comes out. As an author, if you can pre-order, it helps. And also for you, it helps because when you pre-order, you get a lot of free valuable things like my course that's valued at $400 called Self-Worth Method, which is my baby. You get that for free. If you order before January 1st, you will be in the drawing to get a stay at my cabin that's supporting the book. They're giving stays away at my cabin because they want to show you how to protect your peace. So go to TrentShelton.com and it would greatly appreciate it, y'all. And let me read this real quick. And trust me, I understand if you can't, like, too. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe you can find this somewhere for free on the internet. Like, however you can get it. That's all I care about. You know what I mean? But I want to talk about guarding your focus real quick. I'm gonna just read it. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna just read this real quick. How many of us are missing out on the beauty of life simply because we are not paying attention to the moments happening right in front of us? How many of us have our heads buried in our phones so much that we forget to look up? I literally tell people to look up. Disconnect so you can be present with yourself and with your loved ones, especially this holiday season, y'all. Like some of us, we don't look up and look around. Like sometimes we don't realize that there's beauty in life because we're not looking up, looking at it, right? Our kids grow up right before our eyes and, you know, you never know. Like, I don't want to deviate. I need to focus my focus, but like, I know how it feels not to have a parent the next year. You know what I mean? I know how it feels to have a holiday where you have a parent and the next year you ain't got them no more. Right? And a lot of us, we just in our phones. And I'm glad that you're here. Hope I'm not taking away family time, but we're in our phones so much that we're not present. Like being present isn't present. As I mentioned earlier, we live in a world full of distractions. Ads, apps, jobs, friends, family, you name it. Everything is after our attention. How often do we give our energy and focus to the things that truly matter? To the things that truly don't matter. When we succumb to these distractions, negative moods and negative energy starts to creep in. Let this go on too long, and the results are anxiety and depression. Ancient wisdom tells us how those who are too focused on the past ends up depressed, and those who are too focused on the future are filled with anxiety. When you're in the present moment, that is when you can achieve true peace. These ideas are largely credited to a Chinese philosopher who lived almost 3,000 years ago. Amazing how the message is so true even today. It's truly timeless. I don't believe it's a coincidence that anxiety and depression are rising in the same age when screen time is at an all-time high. So many of us are stuck looking down at our screens that we miss out on the opportunity to see what truly matters in life. Stop looking down at what seems to matter on the screen and look up to what truly matters. I'm not going to read that story. So, you can't read that. But it's about focus. And a lot of us, we're so busy looking down, right? We're so busy looking at our phone, comparing our life, that we miss out on the moments. You know, and I do believe, like, when we're focused on our past, it brings anxiety. When we're focused on our future, when we're focused on our past, it brings depression. When we're focused on our future, it brings anxiety. A lot of us don't focus in the now. And my whole purpose for reading this out the book, one, to push the book, but for two, was to really get you to guard your focus this year. Like, don't worry about the next 5 years, right? Don't worry about what happened in 2023. It's done with. Like, what can you do now? How can you focus yourself to say, you know what? I'm going to win the moment. I'm going to win the day. I'm going to stay loyal to the decisions that I made. I'm going to make sure that I protect my energy. I protect my peace, right? I'm not going to allow my emotions to make me focus on something that I can't change or I can't control, right? You have to be that disciplined with your focus to change things, to see things through. But a lot of us, you know, even myself at times, we allow entertainment, we allow all these things to control our focus. And I believe this is true. What you focus on is what you will feel. So I just wanted to share that with y'all today. You know, I wanted to come on here and tap in. My family's actually taking a nap, so I got some disconnection time with myself. And I was out here just enjoying the beautiful Arizona, northern Arizona vibes, man. I'm just truly blessed, and I thank God every day. You know, I thank God. Like, I sometimes sit here and I pinch myself like, man, I can't believe, you know, thousands of people watch the videos and messages, and I still can't believe it. I can't believe where my life is at from where it was. And it's not about like it's not about a status for me. It's about a healing for me. It's about a knowledge, a wisdom place for me. Being able to go through everything I went through and being able to help people as I help myself get through what they're going through. That's what life is about, y'all. Like, somebody asked me the other day, they were like, Trent, like, I don't believe that you ever heal from like your past trauma. And I said, you know, I believe that's true to a point. Like, I do believe that there's some things that you will never heal from. I believe there's some things that are a lifelong journey of healing. Like, I will never heal from losing my mother, ever. You know what I mean? But I believe the mistake that we make is that we focus on being healed so much that we forget that we're healing. Healing is not a destination, it's a journey. And so for me, when I was focused on being healed from my mom, like, man, I want to get over this grief. I don't want to cry anymore. Like, I want to be healed. I want to be healed. And it brought me into depression. Like, I thought something was wrong with me. Like, you know, I'm supposed to be strong. Like, I'm Trent Shelton, the motor. Like, I'm supposed to get through this. I'm supposed to figure it out. Even though I lost my mind, right? But it's just my mindset playing tricks on me. And it changed for me when I say, you know what? Just focus on healing, bro. Like, you're never going to heal from losing Shelton. You're never going to heal from that. Just focus on healing day by day. Get better. You know, you learn to live with it. You know, learn to live with it. And learn to live with it in a way that it becomes your power and not your prison, right? That it helps your life. It energizes your life instead of, you know, makes you sad all the time. And so that really helped me in my journey. So I told the individual, I was like, man, also telling your story, you know, at the right time, you know, telling your story will help people because you realize that everything you went through wasn't pointless and it had a purpose. Like, I sit here when I see y'all's comments and I see y'all on my page, like, it brings so much purpose to my past. Like, it makes me heal from my past. I'm like, oh, I had to go through this so I can help other people get through it. Like, sometimes you're the example, right? Like, sometimes I said this in The Greatest You, my previous book. I talk about purpose, right? And I always tell people, like, I believe in life, especially if you have a mindset of like a perspective of like your perspective is beautiful and your perspective is always serving you. I believe that everything we go through and experience isn't for us. I truly believe that. Like, as me being a father of 3, I realize like I can sit down with my son and I can help him. Oh, hey, bro, I've been through that. Don't trip. Like, it's going to be all right. And I go back to my life when I was a teenager and I thought the world was over, you know, when I lost a girlfriend or this or that. And so I realized, like, oh, snaps, like, if you allow it, it can be bigger than you. And I feel like we get our healing when things become bigger than us and we allow our transgressions, we allow our pain to be future strength for someone else. So anytime I'm going through something, this is a gift to y'all. Anytime I'm going through something, this is my mindset. For the most part, I fall short sometimes of this. I'm a human. But I'm always thinking about this present pain is going to be future strength for someone else. Thank you for pre-ordering it, Lover of Souls. I appreciate you. I always think about this and try this tactically. Like, write this down right now. When you're going through something, it doesn't always change the situation, but what's always helped me, because I know this is true, is I always tell myself this present pain, this present problem, this present, uncomfort is going to be someone else's future strength, because I'm going to get through it. I'm going to learn from it. And when somebody goes through a situation, I'm going to be their solution, because I can tell them, hey, listen, I've been through that. I know how it feels to lose your dream. It's going to be all right. I know how it feels not to have money in your bank account. It's going to be okay. I know how it feels to, not walk for almost 2.5 years properly. Like, I know how it feels to lose a parent. Like, I know. And I know it seems like the world is over, but trust me, there's brighter days ahead. I can guarantee you that. With your permission, there's brighter days ahead. So that really serves me when I'm going through my stuff. That really puts me in a place of empowerment instead of being disempowered. A disempowerment mindset would be, why am I going through this? This is not fair. Life isn't fair. I'm always losing, setback after setback. And I understand that mindset too. Like, I get it. We're humans. But for me, that mindset doesn't serve my healing. So an empowered mindset says, you know what? This kind of sucks to go through this, but if anybody has to go through it, hey, God, let it be me. Because I know I'm going to get through it. And I know that I'm going to be somebody else's future strength. So I know a lot of parents can understand that. So yeah. What questions we got, y'all? I want to kick it with y'all. We got about like 5 more minutes together for my phone die. I am here. I have faith to trust the process. You got to trust the process. And the process sucks. But I'm using those words because I want you to feel that the process isn't easy. The process isn't always beautiful. The process is ups and downs. Like, what y'all don't see, it was literally raining like an hour ago here. Right now it's beautiful. The sun is out. It's going to be a beautiful sunset. I'm going to have to go catch it here soon because I love chasing sunsets. But the process isn't beautiful, but you got to trust the process. You got to know that everything in the process is building you. Everything in the process is shaping you, molding you. Everything in the process is growing you. You got to believe that. You helped me through all this. My mindset has been so bad watching my dad lose his love and he's so broke, right? Shift your perspective with that, right? I just believe bringing a power perspective to everything is the way that we get through things. I'm not sure how much the book is. You can go to Amazon. Whatever Amazon is charged, I think like $30 or $20-something. You said focus on your past. Yeah, so good question, JT. So if you're focused on your past, you're going to be depressed because what's going to happen is, and this is not my teaching, this is a philosopher's teaching. I do agree with it though. What happens is that you're focused on something that you can't change. So you get depressed about it, right? Maybe it's a mistake that you made. Maybe it's something that happened last year, last night, 3 years ago. And you get depressed because depression comes from, to me, feeling helpless and not being able to do something about your life, right? Depression makes us feel like we're not able to do something, right? And this is not just the only form of depression, right? Like, you can go through something right now and be depressed about it. But if you focus on your past in a negative way, like if you focus on your past to get feedback, to learn, that's a different story. But if you're focused on your past and you're harping on your mistake and you're worried about the things that are done, like, the old relationship, whatever, and all it's doing is it's making you not appreciate the beauty that's right in front of your face, right? It's making you not understand that you have the power to do something about your now. So when it comes to your future, a lot of times, like if you think about anxiety is trying to control something you haven't experienced yet, right? That's anxiety oftentimes. Like, you're worried about something in the future. You're worried about this is going to happen. You're worried about, this is going to take place. Like, as humans, we're all going to have some type of anxiety. But crippling anxiety, and I know sometimes it's medical, but like crippling anxiety as a human experience, like it's literally, I'm worried about something that hasn't happened yet. In the book of Matthew, God tells us, like, who can add a single hour to his or her life by worrying about anything? So a lot of us, we live in between those places. We're worried about something we can't change no more, or we're worried about something we can't control. Something hasn't happened yet. And literally, we don't focus on what we can do about it now. And so that's why I always tell people, like, go to the gym. You can go work out, go for a walk. Like, go meditate, go pray. That's something you can do right now that can help you. It might not change your situation, but it can help you, right? It can help your mindset, because I believe the greatest change to experience external change is an internal change. I believe all change starts with within. That's why I always tell you it all starts with you. I believe the change starts here. I always say, God, renew my mind, refresh my life, replenish my soul. Like, renew my mind. Let me start seeing things different. Like, I might look at this and be like, that's an ugly tree. God, renew my mind. Let me see the beauty in that tree. Let me see the beauty in the ugly moments. Let me see the beauty in what I thought was pain. Let me see the good in the bad. Like, let me change my perspective. And this book is mainly about shifting your perspective. That's a principle protecting your peace. Principle number 7, shift your perspective. That's something to the day I leave this earth, I will coach and teach on perspective. How you see the world matters. I believe that is the fundamental. Like, if I can stand on anything, I teach my kids all the time. Like, I practice with them. Shift your perspective, baby girl. What's the goodness? You know, we talked about the other day, narrative therapy, as they call in psychology, right? Narrative therapy is you changing the narrative of the story you're telling yourself. A lot of times our story is controlled by pain. Our story is controlled by our past. Our story is controlled by the government. Our story is controlled by all these things that aren't in our control. And we don't take control of the narrative. You know what I mean? So you said devil puts fat. Yeah. And that destroys your future. I agree, JT. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great way to look at it too. For sure. Right? You focus on something you can't change, you're worried about, that you don't realize it's right in front of your face. That you can do something about it actually shifts your future. That's great. But, like, if I can give y'all anything, it would be that. Like, obviously, with my faith, focus on Jesus, focus on God. Like, allow God to lead your life, build that relationship with him as much as you can. And what that looks like for you, because it ain't going to look like everybody else. I'm going to be real. I know we live in a time where social media is telling you, you're supposed to look like this and look like that. Like, experience God yourself, experience Christ, build that relationship with him. You know what I mean? And how it serves you. And because we do live in a world where everybody's telling you, it's this way, it's that way, or is this, everybody's right in their own eyes. So I tell people all the time, like, trying to live in somebody else's perspective will hurt your life, right? So you have to experience that yourself. But I would teach you guys, like, your perspective is everything. Like, that's what I try to help y'all do the most. I'm a perspective, purpose, performance coach. That's what I want to literally in 2024 for all of you guys. I'm going to teach this a lot, is having the skill to control your perspective. I think that's the most powerful skill, because then anything that comes at you, it builds you. Right? Anything. And you have that choice. Like, I believe that our perspective is the filter that, oh man, this is kind of deep. And I'm making this up on the spot, this quote. Somebody write this down and text it to me or tweet it to me. Inbox it to me. DM me. Should have put this in the book. I believe perspective is the filter that life has to go through before it gets to our soul, right? I believe perspective is the filter that life has to go through before it gets to our soul. And so what does that mean? I believe that we have the experience, and this is kind of getting deep for some people, right? Maybe not. But we have the experience, right? So the experience is here. Answer this question. Can you control the experience? No. Well, I'll put you can try to, right? But are we in full control of the experience of life? Not all the time, right? We can't control a lot of things, right? We can influence a lot of things. We can put ourselves in position, but it doesn't mean we can control everything. So the problem is, a lot of us are depressed and anxious because we're trying to control the experience so much, right? We're like, oh, it has to go this way. It has to go this way. It's going to go wrong. Next year, everything has to happen on my list that I'm writing out. If it doesn't go right, this year is a failure. So you have the experience of life. It's going to happen. Good, bad, ugly, beautiful, different, whatever. The experience happens. I believe your perspective is this filter that you're here, right? Your life, the meanings, your mindset, your soul, everything. You're here on this side. The perspective in the middle. So experience happens as it's coming to you. It goes through a filter system, right? Just like water before you drink it. It goes through a filter system. And that filter system determines how you see the world. That filter system determines how you view your circumstances. The meanings you give things depends on that filter system. So if your perspective is your prison, experience happens, good, bad. Let's use bad. Maybe somebody, I don't know, walks out of your life, okay? That's the experience. It goes through the perspective filter, boom. If your perspective is your prison, you're going to make that worse. That filter is going to say, my life is over. Nobody loves me no more. I wasn't lovable. There's something wrong with me. And that's how you're going to see the world. And you're going to operate that way. A lot of people do that. In the same situation, what would be the power perspective? Experience happens. It goes through the filter system. But my filter is my power. So yeah, this person left me, whatever, boom, hits my perspective. My perspective says, hey, they left my life. Oh, well, it's making more room for the right things in my life. They left my life. Thank you, God, for removing what I wanted, but what I didn't need. Now you're developing a powerful meaning to a negative situation. So I know this is very optimistic talk, but I believe in optimism. I believe that should be realism. Being optimistic instead of pessimistic. Like, why am I going to choose something that doesn't serve me? Why am I going to choose a mindset and an attitude that keeps me in the same pain, the same situation? I don't understand when people say, oh, there's toxic positivity. Like, I believe you're not facing reality, right? If you're being oblivious to what you need to deal with, yes. But I do believe your perspective filter is the most important, I'm going to say the most, one of the most important things that a life could have. Y'all know this quote, because I've been saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it so I can cement this quote. The happiest people have the healthiest perspectives. I really believe that. I really, really believe that. And those happy people usually put themselves in position to experience a healthy perspective. What do I mean? You know, it's crazy. I've never been on a trail ever in nature and seen a mad person. I've never seen it to this day. I've never been on the trails like, don't talk to me. It's always, hey, how you doing? Have a good day. Great run. Go get them, right? It's always because the environment breeds that perspective, right? The environment is full of peace. And so that's why I say it's like a holistic, it's like a, not holistic, but it's a very robust, like when it comes to protecting your peace, because it does depend on your environment. It does depend on the energy. It does depend on you putting yourself in position to experience these healthy perspectives. Because once you're around healthy perspectives, you want some of that. Mindsets are contagious. Like, you want some of that healthy perspective. Like, man, how do you just see life like that? Like, how do you not worry? Like, I was just talking to wifey and she was like, Trent, you never like resort to worry much. Like, you never resort to like, worry. Or you never resort to like negativity. And I have my moments. Like, I'm not a perfect person, but I just always say, like, why worry? I don't believe God gives us a spirit of that. Like, why worry when I got faith? Why worry when I know I could be the solution? And maybe the solution isn't knowing how to fix it, but the solution is knowing how I'm not going to allow it to control how I feel and how I see the world, right? The solution isn't always knowing what I'm going to fix, right? When I say I have the solution, it's not about I know how to fix the situation, because some situations I don't know. But the solution is I'm not going to allow the situation to break me. That's my solution. So I'm going to put it through that perspective filter, and I'm going to make sure it's my power. I'm going to make sure I see it as something good. I'm going to make sure I see it as something working for me. I'm going to make sure I see it as something that can build me every single time. Because the opposite leads you to depression. I've been there. I call it depression quicksand, where you have a prison perspective and all you do is feel sorry about yourself. All you do is want people to feel sorry for you. All you want to do is tell your sad story. All you want to do is say, woe is me, nothing's going right in my life. All you do is want to complain. All you do, and I get it, I've been there in my life, so I'm not judging any of y'all. But that's all you want to do. You see life as everything, nobody cares about me, the world's unfair. And I tell people all the time, man, yes, life is unfair, but please don't allow life being unfair to make you forget that you're highly favored. You're highly favored by God. So I don't care how unfair life is, you are highly favored by God. God got you. And that's what I live by, those 3 words, God got me. No matter what I'm going through, God got me. That is my healthiest perspective. If you want to know somebody inbox me because I want to do a teaching over this called perspective filters. One of my main perspective filters is God got me. So when the experience happens, God got me. I'm putting on God. God got me. We good. You know what I mean? When I'm tight on the finances, God got me. God gonna find a way. Right? God gonna find a way. And so that perspective now puts me in a place of confidence. It puts me in a place of calm. It puts me in a place of peace. You know what I mean? So I can now experience life the way it should be experienced, man. Nobody wants to experience life sad. Like, I don't want my kids to experience me sad and depressed and miserable and not happy. Like, they don't deserve that, man. I was looking at my kids today, and they don't even know how good they got it, right? We in Sedona, we going mountains, and they getting to see all these things, and it's normal to them. But they're very appreciative, but it's normal to them. And I was just sitting down smiling. Like, I wanted to cry because I'm like, I had that growing up too, by the way. I had great parents. So, but I wanted to be able to, my whole goal was to give my kids what my parents gave me. And I was just sitting there like, man, look at these innocent kids. Like they getting to see the world. Like these little moments of like my daughter will come out here and protect your peace, daddy, protect your peace. They know what that is. And it's those moments like that I'm proud of. And there's those moments that matter. Like my goal as a father is more than anything, I want to give my kids healthy perspectives. That's it. I want to give my kids healthy perspectives because I can't control their life. I don't want to control their life. I don't know who God wants them to be. I'm not gonna make them be who I think they should be. I just want to make sure I give them the art of having a healthy perspective, the gift of having that, to where they see everything in a different light, in a different way. Because that's when life can't, the hard times of life can't win. That's when it can't break you. You know what I mean? It builds you. But yeah, I watched them and their innocent eyes like light up and, and just, they got to see the trails. They got to fly the drone and they don't even realize like how special these moments are. But to me, they're very special because, oh man. My battery's about to die. Good, because I'm about to get, they're very special because I'm going to give y'all a real-time perspective shift that I just did. Y'all send me all these notes over perspective, too. Hopefully somebody took them because, I'm just speaking from my heart. But I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to give y'all a real-time perspective, right? Obviously, this moment made me think about my mom, right? Growing up, and, like, traveling and, like, think about my grandparents as a kid. And some of y'all, you experience it at Christmas time and you listen to the songs and it's crazy because it's a blessing because, we're able to give our kids these moments. I got their cousins here and it's the moments that their heart is going to hold on to. And I just want to encourage y'all, man, during this season, like, put away the grudges, put away all the selfishness, all the pride and ego. Just love on your family, man. You know what I mean? Like, again, there's no guarantee that everybody gonna be there the next year. You know what I mean? I wish all my grandparents are passed. My mother's passed, and the perspective shift I just had, I was like, man, I wish I could have another moment with my mom, right? I wish I could have another Christmas with her. But the perspective shift that I just had in that moment was, nah, I've had plenty. And she created plenty of memories. And I'm grateful for every single Christmas that God, every 36 Christmases, 37 Christmases that God blessed me with my mom. Right? Me focus on the past of not having another one doesn't help me, right? It actually makes me a little depressed. But me saying, you know what? I've had plenty. 36 of them. I wish I had another one, but hey, them 36 Christmas with Mom was incredible. And it makes me become more present with my family, right? And being present with my children and my family, my wife, and the family that I have in town. And grateful for having great friends that let me, come stay at their place and gift it to me and my family. Like, I'm grateful for all those people because, like, these are the moments, man, that you cherish forever and will protect your peace. You guys are going to realize that I teach on that, like living in fulfillment. And fulfillment is simply doing what you love and who you love. Like, that's what really matters at the end of the day, y'all. And this life is like, that's why I'm so passionate about, like, you not wasting your life in worry. You not wasting your life in pain. You not wasting your life in depression. Like, that's why I'm so passionate. I show up for y'all like this because I want you to go live your life. I want you to go experience your best life. I want you to go make memories with your kid. Like, I want you to go have fun. I want you to go, like, live. Like, I want you to go live. That's what I want for you. And I know in order to live, some things must die. Some things can't go on to your next year. So, I know we had a long conversation. I wish I could stay on here longer, but my phone is about to die. I love y'all. I'm praying for all y'all that's lost loved ones, man. I know it's hard. Those moments pop up. Like, I'm hearing Christmas time comes but once a year. And I'm like crying inside because that was our jam. You know what I mean? As a kid, Stevie Wonder Christmas songs and Nat King Cole and, Temptations, man, driving to Little Rock, Arkansas those moments, I would do anything to experience them. But I know those moments are gone. And I will cherish those moments, but it's my job to get those moments to my kids now so they can have those moments. So I love y'all. I hope y'all got something from today. As always, if you want to support me, a lot of y'all just support me by showing up, and that's plenty. But if you want to get this book, it would help me tremendously. If you feel like anything today was like, man, like this was powerful, all that is teaching from this book in some form, in some fashion. So you can just type peace in the comments. You go to TrentShelton.com. You go to Amazon. Just type in my name. It'll pop up. My other books will pop up. Go get those too. Straight up in the greatest shoe if you want. But regardless, my ask of you is that you really have your new beginning. And I believe a new beginning starts with a shift in your perspective. All right, y'all. I'm going to let y'all enjoy this view for a little bit, and I'm going to